Do you enjoy the content on this channel and would like to help support the channel? You can do so by contributing $1.99 a month. That's about the price of a taco. So if you'd like to spot me a taco once a month, just click that join button down below and follow the instructions. Thank you in advance for your love and support, and now enjoy today's video. Bienvenidos and welcome back, familia. We are finishing off season 1 of The Chosen, and today we're in this video. We're going to check out episodes 7 and 8, which are the last 2 episodes. If you are with me and you're ready to get to rockin' and rollin', give me some love in the live chat right now. Some hearts. You can also hit the like button. That helps out a lot. I hope everyone's doing well. I hope everybody had a wonderful lunch, because Erica and I sure did have a wonderful lunch. I just had a burrito from Chipotle. It's probably my favorite. And then if you notice this, ignore it. I cut myself a few days ago, and I was just about ready to be healed. Like, it was just healing when earlier today, when I was setting up my lighting, I brushed it up against something and cut it wide open again, and it was just everywhere. But we are excited to be here once again. I want to say thank you to everyone who's joining us. Today we are checking out the last 2 episodes of season 1, and we might go into that first episode of season 2 today, if you all are gonna stay awake with me, because I know some of you are ready to go to bed. But we got 32 people. As soon as I see 33 or more, we're gonna get started. I'm going to add this to the stream and just have that ready. Thank you all so much for coming back. Here we go. 33 people on the live chat right now. There should be 33 likes also on it, at least 33 likes. So if you haven't hit the like button, hit that like button. I know it's annoying for some of us to continuously ask for that, but here's what that does. When you hit the like button, it lets YouTube know that you like this video, and then it starts suggesting this video to other people who like the same content as you do. So it doesn't take anything away from you. It just lets more people know. Hopefully get some more people to come by and join us for this awesome conversation. Again, familia, we are having a conversation. We're going to have a back and forth here. So every once in a while, I will pause this and I will ask you questions, and I will have little comments about the show and about the wonderful job that our friends at The Chosen have done. Now, I want to talk about Angel Studios. Angel Studios is now a sponsor of this channel. Has sponsored a couple of videos here, and this is why it's great news. I take sponsorship very seriously. I've gotten suggestions for sponsors for like some software, for like wallets, for what else? Just a bunch of other stuff. And I'm like, no, I'm not interested in any of that stuff. I don't want to just bring anyone on board that doesn't really connect with the channel. But Angel Studios is definitely something that I really would like to partner up with. Is a company that I really do want to partner up with, because they do offer a lot of wonderful shows on their app. So if you could please download the Angel Studio app, that would mean a lot to me, a lot to this channel. It helps this channel grow. If you can, check out some of the stuff that they have on there. I know that they have really nice, clean comedy for people who are into comedy. They have other shows. They have a movie that I'm going to check out, or is it a show? There's a show or something that's going to be turned into a feature film. So there's a lot of great stuff coming out. So please download the Angel Studio app. If you're ready to get going, let's get going. I'm ready for season 3. If you're ready for season 3, give me 3 hearts in the live chat now, and we will get started. Here we go. This is episode 7, titled Invitations. Let's roll.
Joshua, how many more in the night?
Some 300, sir.
Where will you bury them?
Men are trying to dig a trench, but the ground is hard and rocky. With respect, Moses, my concern is not for the dead, but for the dying. Hundreds fall by the day, and for every serpent we kill, another 10 appear.
Maybe we should leave the bodies here, in this tent.
At the rate people are dying, there would not be enough room, even if we stack them to the top.
Then we'll have to leave and find someplace else.
I'm not leaving anytime soon. Too many people are sick and cannot walk.
After today, the only Hebrews too sick to walk will be those who choose to remain so.
Is there medicine in that bronze? You told the people that you would ask God to forgive their rebellion, to heal their serpent wounds.
I did.
Then why are you hiding in a tent?
It wasn't my idea, Joshua.
That is a pagan symbol. You did not ask him if he was sure. Maybe you misunderstood him.
Oh,
I've learned to do what he says, without questioning. You remember what happened at Meribah.
I like the cross in the back. It's just a silhouette.
We could send a messenger to Eziongi or beg for aid.
That pole. Hand me that pole.
The people will say it is a cruel joke.
Let them say that.
Help me understand.
Help me understand.
None of this makes any sense.
How do you explain the Red Sea? The manna in the coil? The pillar of fire? Joshua, any Israelite who looks upon this bronze serpent and believes in the power of Adonai will be healed. It's an act of faith, not reason. Faith.
The conversation we had earlier about reasoning versus faith. Come on, familia. You know what you got to do. I'm going to be that person that claps backwards. Come on, jump in the water, familia. Come on, I really want you moving. No matter where you are, you're at home. You got your partner sleeping next to you. Don't wake him up, but move a little. Play air guitar with me. I don't know, do something. Air drum. Nice long deep breath, familia. Deep breath in. And deep breath out. Let's do this. Let's go. Setting the scene. Beautiful. Let's go. How many would agree that this is a different Matthew now than the first part of this season? Beautiful.
Ayas, why are you here?
I'm escorting you.
Because you feel indebted for your promotion.
You're complaining about safely walking the streets?
I didn't help Quintus for you.
Oh, I know. You couldn't help yourself.
I spoke up because I was right.
You got lucky.
Luck doesn't exist.
So you knew Quintus would not kill you.
He was smart to go after the fisherman, but he must have been desperate to enlist Simon.
I don't buy it. You were terrified.
Guys, what if you were suddenly the only Roman in Capernaum?
I think I'd change clothes.
Exactly. When you realize that nobody else in the world cares what happens to you, you think only about yourself.
For a fool, your brain has taken you far.
I thought so too.
What was that emotion there at the end with him?
Praise Adonai, he is healthy and alive.
What are you talking
I
about?
received word from Jerusalem. Havela gave birth to a son. You are grandfather again.
So soon?
A month early, but all is well. Oh, blessed be he. We'll have the rest of our things sent.
No. My research here is not completed.
But we have to make it back in time for the bris. We have only 8 days, less than 8.
Circumcision can be performed by any number of people, Zohara.
Nico, this is your own grandson.
Fifth grandson. Havila will understand.
Do you know what people will say when they learn that the great Nicodemus missed his own grandson's name day because he was doing research in Capernaum, of all places?
Research that concerns not just one Jewish boy, but all of Israel,
Ooh.
past, present, and future.
There is nothing in Capernaum but demoniacs and insolent schoolboys. Come to your senses.
I have never been closer to my senses.
That's
Ooh.
not how it looks from the outside.
Many things are not.
Ooh.
I am ready to leave this place, Nico. I miss my children and my grandchildren, including the one I haven't even met yet.
Oh, Zohara, please. You can't just barge.
Oh, I believe I can.
Oh,
Praetor Quintus.
Zohara, is it? Pleasure to see you again.
I trust all is well.
Why would you trust that?
Oh, yes, please do make yourself at home.
We really will have to discuss the people's tithing.
This is why you have come.
I need to know if we have a problem, Nicodemus.
I have complied with every request Rome has made to my office, even when it infringed on custom.
Let me rephrase. You and I want the same thing. We want rules followed. We want order. Soldiers, money, votes, that's my world. Demons, prayers, oddballs, that's yours. I need to know if our worlds are on a collision course.
wow.
The so-called miracle worker?
What an interesting choice of words.
Jesus of Nazareth.
Don't even know what Nazareth is, but yes, him.
Anecdotes and rumors.
And a stampede in the eastern ghetto that delayed Herod's envoy. That really made me look bad. I hate that.
The unrest began when your soldiers waded into the crowd brandishing weapons.
It isn't an isolated event. I've heard reports. My source has an unwavering knack for accuracy and a compulsion for the truth. So again, I ask you, is there a problem?
No.
You don't seem sure.
Yes, actually.
Maybe I could get better information from this Shmuel. He's very eager to see me.
The only way to learn this preacher's intentions is to speak with him directly.
So speak to him. I hate crowds. They take time and resources, and then cleanup is a pain. When you arrange a private meeting, I want to know when and where. Understand?
What troubles you about this man?
Preachers have a habit of becoming politicians. They sprout up like weeds and spread. You know, my wife is a gardener. She understands.
Wow.
Some flora spread their seeds when trampled. Who's to say you wouldn't be creating a martyr?
I'll take my chances.
There seems to be something with Nicodemus here with trying to convince people that Jesus is not really a big threat, or that what's happening is not a big threat, by pointing out that you should be careful because the road that you take to avoid something sometimes is the road that leads you there, right? Like sometimes seeds are spread when you're trying to get rid of something, of the weeds, or more or less what he mentioned there. But I love that conversation. I love that conversation. Somebody nailed it when they said smart versus wise. Sorry, smart versus wise. That's right. So it's one thing to be smart. It's a whole different thing to be wise, right? And so knowing something and being wise, two different things. Okay, let's continue. She knows he's lying, right?
You sympathize with this preacher.
Well, she's really observant too. Well, she should know her husband too. Mm.
Will we be safe here?
What do you mean, safe?
They'll be looking for us because of what you said about forgiving sins.
We won't be here very long. After what happened yesterday, we'll keep moving from town to town.
Is that what you want?
What do you mean?
To roam about, not be able to stay in one place?
I want to do the will of my Father.
Mm.
And I want to spread the message of salvation. So yes, I am happy to not stay in one place.
Rabbi,
Yes, Dad.
I should prepare firewood for how many days?
5, I think.
Thought you said that we wouldn't be here very long.
Leaving some for the next weary traveler.
Ah,
Hospitality isn't only for people who own homes, John.
wow.
Are you all right?
Come on.
Yes, thank you. May I speak with you, Rabbi?
Just 1 second. Sorry, I really need that. I need that to marinate. I need that to cook because I can't. It just. I love the little lessons here, right? I love that little message here. He's not just thinking about himself and the days that he's going to be there, right? He and his students are going to be there. He's thinking about the next person. He's thinking about putting in a little bit of extra work to make sure that the person after him won't have to, because you never know. Maybe the person who's traveling through, maybe they can't chop wood. Maybe they can't, do that. And imagine arriving to a place where wood is already there, ready for you to just pile up and have ready for your stay. It's a beautiful thing. How many of us, get like we go, like Erica's is beautiful at doing this, by the way. We go to a restaurant, and when we're all done eating, she gathers all the plates and she piles them up, and sometimes the servers will come and they go, "Oh, you didn't have to do that." And she's like, "No, I was a server once. I know." And she knows it's hard work, so she helps as much as she can, and makes it just a little bit easier for them to just dispose and get rid of the trash. She even puts the trash all in one plate at the top. It's beautiful to not just think of yourself, but to think about the other person. I love that. I absolutely love that. Okay, let's continue.
Bye.
Yes, of course. Keep going.
I wanted to apologize for yesterday.
For what?
Trying to help those people get closer to the sound of your voice. I had no idea they would open the roof and disrupt your teaching. I'm truly...
So you regret that a paralytic is enjoying his first full day on his own?
No. Just that I caused the scene and cut short your teaching.
Who's to say it was cut short? With their faith, they would have found a way whether you brought them to the roof or not.
Oh, there's more. When we were leaving, a Pharisee stopped me and asked for a private meeting with you. I told him I would ask.
A Pharisee? Do you know this man?
He visited me before.
A Pharisee in the Red Quarter.
I doubt he wanted to be there.
No, I wouldn't think so.
Well, I saw him again after I was better, and he wanted to know how I was healed. Of course, I didn't tell him who you were, but he seemed
What?
earnest.
Hmm.
He wasn't offended to learn that someone else had succeeded where he had failed. There's a hunger in his eyes, not fear.
Not like the Pharisees at the window yesterday, huh?
I am sorry to have brought all this on you.
No, no. Well, there was a reason you met this Pharisee.
Nicodemus.
Nicodemus, of course.
Look at that beautiful setting.
I've heard of him.
I don't know who is known and who is not. This is all new to me.
Don't worry about which men others think are important. Send word to Nicodemus. I will meet with him. Little James will know the location. Thank you, Mary.
I'm picking up so many different little things I didn't catch before. Don't worry about who other men think are important. Right? Is that what he said? I'm just going to go back a little bit here.
Heard of him.
I don't know who is known and who is not. This is all new to me.
Don't worry about which men others think are important.
Don't worry about which men think other men are important. Oh, goodness. My goodness. Also, don't worry about things like this as well. Okay. I also beseech you to be careful that you're not listening to other human beings who are trying to destroy the good work of other men. It seems like it may seem like it's a good thing, but my grandfather used to say, be careful doing good things that appear to be bad and bad things that appear to be good. So you have to really be smart about it. But thank you for the warning. We're going to watch and we are going to be careful. And I ask the same. Please be careful as well.
Send word to Nicodemus. I will meet with him. Little James will know the location. Thank you, Mary.
Yes, teacher. Where are you going?
To be alone. I need to think. To pray.
I will pray also, that I did not put you in terrible danger.
You have not. In fact, I have made plans already for tomorrow night.
Plans?
Yes, spread the word. A dinner party in the Northern District. The tall house just past the arch.
That row of homes.
I know the kinds of people who live there.
Trust me.
What about the others?
Can I get I trust you in the live chat? I trust you, Jesus, in the live chat.
You.
Hello, Ima, or Elisheva, I mean. Hello.
You.
I don't receive visitors myself. Is this a custom?
If your father were here, I couldn't do this.
Where is Alpheus?
I think a dog followed you.
He's with me. He'll stay out here if you let me in. Alpheus be home soon.
He's away on a work trip.
Where will work take him? Does he no longer make leather goods?
His shop was robbed. Many of the shops have been. Crime is rampant, makes it very difficult to reopen.
He loved his shop.
But we still have a roof over our heads, which is more than some people can say.
You can ask me for money if you ever need it.
How can you say that?
It's quite common. I've seen many parents entirely dependent on...
Your father would sooner die than take your blood money.
I know you are ashamed of me, but your decision is irrational. Rome will continue to collect taxes no matter what. I'm skilled with numbers.
Did you come here to justify yourself?
No!
Oh, Ooh, here we go.
Everything's like sand.
Oh.
They flood. The things I thought I knew to be true.
No trouble.
Do you think that impossible things can happen? That overturn the laws of nature? That cannot be explained.
That is what people asked when you were a boy. Even the rabbis were astonished at your talent for reading, math, the way you could think faster than any other child. They thought you would be someone great.
Great at what? I'm rich. I have an armed escort. I'm trusted by the praetor of
We
Galilee.
never dreamed you would use the talent God gave you to bleed your people dry.
But have you ever seen anything miraculous?
Not you.
My whole world. Everything I thought I knew. What if it's wrong?
I think you should go.
Can you just imagine his position here? He has no one he can trust, no one he can ask these questions.
She looks well. I came to celebrate Shabbat a few weeks ago. Then I left. Goodbye, Hima.
Like, he has no one to turn to ask to talk about this. He's completely conflicted, right? It's not like he can talk to Gaius about it. It's not like he can talk to Simon about it, right? He can't talk to anybody about it. So he goes and he talks to family who's supposed to accept him and love him and be there for him when he's conflicted, right? But they're so turned away by him because he's good at his job and he's doing the work. He's working for someone that is sort of their oppressor, right? It's not his fault, is it? Right? It's not his fault. Thing is, it's so sad that she said you have to leave now and kicked him out of his home, out of her home, because she's not having it. She's not having it with him. And who else is he going to turn to? Who else is he going to turn to? That's just so sad. Beautiful lighting.
No, I'm not sure this is a good idea.
Why not?
Well, could be a trap. Nicodemus cooperates with Rome. They're the ones who sent him to Mary when she was possessed in the Red Quarter.
I'm well acquainted with risks, Simon. So are you, if I remember our first meeting correctly. Huh?
Risk is his oldest friend, I'm afraid.
Simon, Mary is an excellent judge of character. She has known some of the worst kinds of men in this world, and she finds him earnest. You should trust her instincts. And mine.
Rabbi, I've got it. Let's take a look. Can you keep her quiet, please? No one needs to know I'm sick.
I can't tell her not to cough, Simon.
I just don't want our burdens to become his, okay? I don't want to be the one to distract him.
He's made up his mind about you. He's not going to kick you out of the room.
Perfect. Well done. Well, I think I can fit all of you in here with me, huh?
No, and we will be,
You won't
right?
be recognized in that.
Has the owner of the house given permission?
It's all arranged, Rabbi. And I'll be waiting at the door.
Thank you, Andrew. You go on ahead, but remember to relax. You are there to guide our guest, not to be my protector.
Are you sure you don't want me to come? The more eyes watching the streets for trouble, the better.
Not tonight, Simon. Stay here with your wife and your mother-in-law.
Besides, the force is with him, right?
You see?
The almighty force. Tempura.
Welcome, Nicodemus. Don't be alarmed. He's waiting for you.
The music.
I asked the owner of this
Ooh.
house for more lanterns, but he said they would draw attention.
Yes, I imagined they would.
The human eye is drawn to light. We can't help it. It just happens.
There are many things we're drawn to without our thinking or our ability to explain why.
Ugh.
Thank you for agreeing to meet.
Thank you for trying to help Mary when you did.
It was no help.
You were meant to be there.
Me? So I could fail miserably at an exorcism in the Red Quarter?
If you had not been there that day, would you be on this roof tonight?
How? Ooh.
Start. I have so many questions.
Shall we sit first?
Like a child.
Yeah, of course.
Yes, yes, yes. Sit.
The eastern slums.
Hmm.
Many wandering preachers have succeeded in gathering crowds with their rhetoric and fiery tone.
I've heard a few of them over the years myself.
So you know the type. But I have never heard anyone tell a paralytic to get up and walk, much less it actually happens.
So what is your conclusion?
I believe you are not acting alone. No one can do these signs you do without having God in him. Only someone who has come from God.
And how is that belief going over in the synagogue?
I love
That's why we are here at this hour. What else?
What have you come here to show us?
A kingdom.
That is what our rulers are worried about.
No, not that kind.
Then what?
A sort of kingdom that a person cannot see unless he is born again. Yes.
You mean like a new creature? A conversion from Gentile to Jewish?
No, that's not what I'm talking about.
Then what is born again?
Not a conversion.
I hope you don't mean return to the womb, because that would be a problem for me. My mother, may she rest in peace, is dead.
Truly, I say to you, unless one is born of water and the Spirit, he cannot enter the kingdom of God. That which is born of the flesh is flesh, and that which is born of the Spirit is spirit. That part of you, that
part of you.
Born to new life.
How can these things be?
A teacher of Israel, and yet you do not understand these things, huh?
I'm trying, Rabbi.
I know. I know. Do you hear this?
What?
Listen. What do you hear?
The wind?
How do you know it's the wind?
Because I can feel it. I hear it sound.
Do you know where it comes from?
No.
Do you know where it's going?
No.
That's what it is to be born again of the Spirit. The Spirit may work in a way that is a mystery to you. And while you cannot see the Spirit, you can recognize his effect.
Mind is consumed with thoughts of what a stir these words would cause among the teachers of the law.
He's.
I do not expect otherwise. I speak of what I know and have seen, and it has not been received by the religious leaders.
It is hard to receive.
So if I told you of earthly things, and you do not believe, How can I tell you heavenly things?
Wow.
I believe your words. I just fear you may not have a chance to speak many more of them before you are silenced.
I have come to do more than speak words, Nicodemus.
More miracles.
Yes, but even more than that. Do you remember when the children of Israel complained against God and against Moses in the wilderness of Paran?
Yes. They wanted to return to Egypt, and they cursed the manna that God sent them.
And then?
They were bitten by serpents, and they were dying.
But
God made a way for them to be healed.
Moses lifted the bronze serpent in the desert, and people only needed to look at it. So will the Son of Man be lifted up, so that whoever believes in him may have eternal life.
Our people are not dying from snake bites. They're dying from taxation and oppression.
I'm sorry to disappoint you, but I did not come to deliver the people from Rome.
Then from what?
From sin. From spiritual death. God loves the world in this way, that he gave his only Son, that whoever believes in him shall not perish, but have eternal life.
So this has nothing to do with Rome. It's all about sin.
God did not send his Son into the world to condemn it, Nicodemus. He sent him to save it through him. It's as simple as Moses' serpent on the pole. Whoever believes in him will not be condemned, but whoever does not believe stands condemned already. Have you ever heard anything like this before?
And I met Lilith, Mary, that day. I told my wife and my students she was beyond human aid. Only God could have healed her. And then I saw her healed. And here you are.
Look at his eyes.
Peter. My whole life I have wondered if I would see this day.
Follow me, and you'll see more. Join me, my students. In 2 days' time, we leave Capernaum. Come see the kingdom I am bringing into this world.
But I can't.
You have a position in the Sanhedrin. You have family. You are getting advanced in years. I understand. But the invitation is still open.
Invitation to what exactly? To lead a nomadic life, to give up who I am.
It's true. There is a lot you would give up. But what you would gain is far greater and more lasting.
Is this another one of your born-again mysteries?
Yeah.
Maybe. I know mysteries aren't easy for a scholar. Think about it. Take your time. On the morning of the 5th day, we leave, and we'll meet by the well in the southern quarter at dawn.
Is the kingdom of God really coming?
What does your heart tell you?
My heart is swollen with fear and...
How honest.
You can tell me nothing except that I am standing on holy ground. Holy roof, anyway.
Right, you come with us, Nicodemus.
You don't have to do that.
What are you doing?
Kiss the sun, lest he be angry and you perish in the way.
Blessed are all who take refuge in him.
Oh goodness, man, it's so much to unpack there. Oh. So focused on like what he has to lose, right? Focused on the fact that he has to live like a vagabond, practically just living in the streets, living wherever, give up his family, give up everything, you know. And he's like, yeah, but what you have to gain is far greater than that. It's far greater than that. Food for thought here, familia. When our greed is calling, what do we have to gain to not listen to it, by not listening to it? When our greed calls, when our anger calls, our resentment, when we're receiving the phone call of someone we love, someone we used to love, right? A loved one, a family member, someone who we used to love, and we're bothered by them for some reason, and we decide not to answer their call. Can you imagine if that's the last time that they're going to get a chance to call you? Like my point here, I'm not, I mean, I could take the long road here, but I'm going to just cut it short. We have a lot to gain by letting go of the things that cause us to sin. We have a lot to gain by letting go of greed, by letting go of desire, by letting go of our temporary pleasures. And that comes in many different ways. You know, if it's causing you to not be responsible at home, it's something you should be letting go. I love that interaction. I want to, man, I want to watch that again and break that down. Are you okay if I watch that again and break that down just slightly, just little bits and pieces? Or should we do that in a different video? You decide. You decide. Because I do want to kind of like pick at some of the stuff that was said here. And if you're interested, we'll take another look at it and touch on some of the things that both Jesus and Nicodemus said. You're good? Okay. All right. And if for those of you who are watching this after, if you're watching this after this is streamed live, I will put in the description down below, I'll add a timestamp where you can skip this portion of it and just continue watching it where we left off. But this conversation is really, really important. And I just want to break it down slightly. Let me just go back here. We'll start here.
Will you be on this roof tonight?
Right. See here, Nicodemus is feeling like a failure because he says, I didn't do anything for her. And in fact, he felt like he shouldn't have even been there. Right. And Jesus is saying, hey, if you weren't there, would you be here tonight? It almost feels like he had to be on that rooftop to receive this invitation. And in order for that to happen, all these other things needed to be put into place, which is why earlier when we ended the last live, I specifically gave thanks to our Father for putting in place the things that are going to save you in the future, for putting in place now the people that you're going to meet in some near future, that are going to have the thing that your family needs right now, or that healing that you need, or that the answer to a question, doctors, the right people to give you to offer you an opportunity for a job, like giving thanks for these things, because God puts these things in place, and later on puts you in the right position to be in the presence of to be in his presence, just to be in his presence. Let's continue.
Don't know where to start. I have so many questions.
So many questions. I love that.
Oh, yes.
I love the lighting here. He takes off his robe to make himself more comfortable. They sit in the light. I like how this is filmed on the dark side of their faces. You see the light on the other side of their faces. Is brilliant cinematography here. First question.
The eastern slums. Many wandering preachers have succeeded in gathering crowds with their
He's talking about other preachers.
Tone.
Right.
I've heard a few of them over the years myself.
So you know the type. But I have never heard anyone tell a paralytic to get up and walk, much less it actually happened.
See, so he says, I've seen a lot of preachers who have gathered lots of crowds, a huge crowd, right? So just because you have a huge following doesn't mean that you're doing the right thing. That doesn't mean that you're speaking for God, right? Just because you have a super mega church, and I'm not trying to throw any stones here, but just because you have a super duper mega gigantic church does not mean that you are speaking the words of God, that you are somehow guided by that spirit, right? And he's saying, but I've never seen any of them. They talk a big game, but I've never seen them tell someone to walk and actually see them walk right after, right?
So what is your conclusion?
I believe
He's
not
giving him the answer. He says he could have said, well, yeah, right, because the difference is that I have my Father that's with me and is allowing me to do these things. He didn't do that. He didn't give him the answers. He asked him, what is your conclusion, so that Nicodemus can see and fully understand that and say that out loud, and also to give him the opportunity to say it out loud and confirm what his internal suspicion, right?
Acting alone.
He's not acting alone.
These signs you do without having
God in him.
Only someone who has come from God.
And how is that belief going over in the synagogue?
His answer said it all. How would it go explaining this in the synagogue? And like that answer just said it all. Like, yeah, right. They're not going to believe this.
Which is why we are here.
Which is why they're there.
What else?
What else? What other questions do you have?
Have you come here to show us?
I love his answer here. What the question is this, like, what have you come here to show us, right? Not what are you doing here, not what's your goal, what are your plans for the future? What do you come here to show us? There's something that we're supposed to be watching, something that we're supposed to be observing, right? For us to see, because you're showing us all these signs, right? You're showing us all these signs. You're healing people, but what is it that you're wanting to show us? Here's his answer:
a kingdom.
I came to show you a kingdom. I came to show you a kingdom. Immediately, Nico goes. See, Nico is in a troublesome position here, because he's not just having a conversation with Jesus, with the Son of God, who he already knows he is who he says he is, but he's also having an internal dialogue and imagining himself talking to other people, explaining what took place here. And it scares him, which means that he's not fully in this conversation. He's also in his head running by what it would look like, what it would sound like if the people he knows, the high ups, would hear this man say what he's saying. So he's not fully in this conversation.
That is what our rulers are worried about.
That's what they're worried about.
Not that kind.
He said, no, not that kind of kingdom.
A sort of kingdom that a person cannot see unless he is born again.
A kingdom that a person cannot see unless he is born again. Unless he is born again. I imagine that up to this point, there's no one who's ever spoken these words in this way, which is why Nicodemus repeats it, fragmented, like he did when he spoke with Mary. broken it up. Born again? Like what is two simple words? What? What do you what? What?
Again.
What do you mean?
Yes.
You mean like a new creature? A conversion from Gentile to Jewish?
No.
Conversion from Gentile to Jewish?
No, that's not what I'm talking about.
And no, he's not talking about converting. He's not talking about conversion. He's not moving. He's not saying you need, in order for you to be saved, in order for you to enter into this kingdom, you need to, he's not saying that you need to be converted from one idea, one belief, one system to another system. No. Or one class to another class. No. Or one nation to another nation, or one whatever. Nothing. No conversion. No. He's not talking about that.
And what is born again?
Then what is it?
I hope you don't mean return to the womb, because that would be a problem for me. My mother, may she rest in peace, is dead.
Truly, I say to you.
So obviously he's saying, wait. Nothing that you're saying makes sense, right? The only other option, the only other answer here is what, that I return back to my mother's womb, because that, come on, right? He can't think. He's already pretty much exhausted all of the possibilities. His mind can't move any further than what he thought he meant, right? So again, we're going back to the intellectual. And Jesus says, no, truly I say to you,
unless one is born of water and the Spirit, he cannot enter the kingdom of God.
That unless one is born of water and the Spirit. But I want you to notice the gestures that Jesus does. Okay, he touches Nico in a bit. And I want you to notice the gestures so you can see the difference in what he's talking about. Okay?
That which is born of the flesh.
See, he touches his hand, that which is born of the flesh. So he touches his hand, right?
Is flesh.
Is flesh. That is born of flesh is flesh. But
and that which is born of the Spirit.
He touches his chest.
Spirit.
And that which is born of the Spirit is spirit.
That part of you.
That part of you. That part of you. So he's dividing the two. He's saying one thing is of the flesh and the other part is of the Spirit. In other words, you have to move not from one idea to another, not from Gentile to Jew, but what you want to do is move your existence from the physical, from this world, from the flesh over to the Spirit, because the flesh desires things of the flesh and it feeds off of the things of the flesh, right? But when it dies, it's done, it's over with, right? It returns to dust. But the things of the Spirit, that which is born of the Spirit, feeds off of the Spirit, lives off of the Spirit, and continues and is sustained from the Spirit.
Is what must be reborn to new life.
How can these things be?
A teacher of Israel, and yet you do not understand these things. Huh?
I'm trying, Rabbi.
He's trying?
I know. Do you hear this?
See, he's saying, I'm trying. He says, I know, and then he pauses for a second. You see, familia, this is really interesting to me, because it's showing Jesus in a way that he, in all of his wisdom, he's trying different ways of explaining the same thing to get his idea across. Language, it can't just be one thing. It can't just be the words, right? Imagine how frustrated he would have been if he would have just repeated himself, right? But no, he takes a moment, he pauses, and then he hears the wind, and the wind there starts to inspire him to share the same message, just slightly different.
What?
Listen. What do you hear?
The wind?
How do you know it's the wind?
Because I can feel it. I hear it sound.
And he already knows the wind, right? It's something that he's experienced many times before, and he doesn't question it.
Do you know where it comes from?
No.
Do you know where it's going?
No.
That's what it is to be born again of the Spirit. The Spirit may work in a way that is a mystery to you. And while you cannot see the Spirit, you can recognize his effect.
While you cannot see, again, he's not talking about the fleshy eyes, right? Or your hearing. He's trying to move him from his senses, the sensory aspect of the flesh, over to what he knows and recognizes deep within, something that cannot be taught or explained to him. He doesn't know where it's going. He doesn't know how it works. He just knows that it works, that the wind is there, that it's present, and that he's connected to it in a way, right? Trying to move him from the fleshy over to the spirit. It's brilliant.
Mind is consumed with thoughts of what a stir these words would cause.
Again, he's listening to Jesus, but he's also thinking about, so he's also in his head, which is another part, another aspect, which is kind of connected to the flesh, is the mind. He's in his mind, imagining him repeating these words to someone, and just imagining the confusion that's going to stir up, just trying to explain that to another person. So again, he's not fully paying attention to what Jesus is saying. He's thinking about his words will sound like to somebody else. Imagine if he were completely present. Imagine if he allowed himself to be fully present in what he's saying, and let those words, let that lesson, let that teaching transform him. What a different conversation this would have been.
Teachers of the law.
Yes, and I do not expect otherwise. I speak of what I know and have seen, and it has not been received by the religious leaders.
It is hard to receive.
So if I have told you of earthly things, and you do not believe, how can I tell you heavenly things?
I believe your words.
If I tell you earthly things and you don't believe, how can you tell them spiritual things about the spirit?
Just fear you may not have a chance to speak many more of them before you are silenced.
I have come to do more than speak words, Nicodemus.
More miracles.
Yes, but even more than that. Do you remember when the children of Israel complained against God and against Moses in the wilderness of Paran?
Yes. They wanted to return to Egypt, and they cursed the manna that God sent them.
And then?
They were bitten by serpents, and they were dying.
But
God made a way for them to be healed.
Moses lifted the bronze serpent in the desert, and people only needed to look at it. So will the Son of Man be lifted up, so that whoever believes in him may have eternal life.
Okay, I don't know much about this previous story of the serpent with Moses. I vaguely remember they were all lost and they started to complain, right? And God said, okay, trip over. The trip is over. Snakes, they were bitten. They raised the thing. He says, all they needed to do was look at the serpent and they would be healed. Just look at it and be healed. Right? And he says, so the Son of Man will also be lifted. Right? He's also going to be on the cross, so that anybody who looks at him, who looks and believes, will be healed. Believes, right? Believes in him. Believes in him and that he is who he says he is. I don't want to get too deep into the other parts that people believe and why they create different sects that believe in different things. I don't want to get into all of that, but the main thing is that the people who believe in him and that believe in who he says he is will automatically know the Father. Because if you know him, you know the Father. And if you know the Father, you'll have everlasting life. You'll have eternal life. And in I'm going to go forward to John 17, the prayer that he has, that Jesus says, he says, I've made you known to them, and I will continue to make you known. I will continue to make you known to them, so that the love that you have for me will be in them. Familia, oh my goodness, I don't want to go too deep into this, but he's simply saying his mission here is to make sure that that everybody who's a sinner, who was lost, who God the Father turned his face away from, that you know him again, that you recognize that he exists, that he is there. And you will know that by seeing the things that I'm doing here. I'm healing the sick. I'm showing you all these signs. And then I will conquer death because I love you and I want you to be where I am. He says that in that prayer, which I've heard dozens of times now. Father, I have made you known to them, and I will continue to make you known to them, so that the love that you have for me may be in them, and that I may also be in them, and that we may all be one. Blah.
People are not dying from snake bites. They're dying from taxation and oppression.
I'm sorry to disappoint you, but I did not come to deliver the people from Rome.
Then from what?
From sin.
He didn't come to deliver people from Rome. Which is tricky here, right? Because a lot of us are in need. Okay, Rome here can be symbolic for many different things. See, Rome in your home can be Rome in your home. In your home, Rome could be whatever is causing a disturbance in your family, in the dynamic of your family. Rome could be alcoholism and drug addiction. Rome can be your work. Rome can be debt. Rome could be sickness. Rome could be greed. Rome could be so many different things. It's symbolic here. I'm not here to deliver you from Rome. I'm not here to deliver you from that sickness, from all of that. So we could pray for these things, and these things could be asked, right? Because also, knock and the door shall be answered, right? Asking you shall receive. So yes, he does these things, but that's not what he's here for. He's here to deliver you from sin, to deliver us from sin, to protect us from the evil one, but to deliver us from sin, to free us from sin, from our own desire, from our own greed, from our own things that cause this Rome to this prison, right? So yeah, your husband's side chick, yes, could be could be Rome. Yes, all of that, any of that disturbance. So without getting too overly political, speaking of which, I'll block this user. Oh, somebody's on it. Thank you so much. Thank you. See, this is what I'm talking about. So this is it. Let's keep it simple. Really, really simple.
From spiritual death. God loves the world in this way, that he gave his only Son, that whoever believes in him shall not perish, but have eternal life.
Familia, I mean, from the way that I've come to understand this and know this, the Father loves us. At some point, we failed him. We've exiled him from our lives. And then along comes his Son, who took on human form. Everything about him was still human. He was not just tempted as a human being. You think he didn't have those temptations there? The same temptations that you and I have, he had, but he didn't fall for it because there was something else in him that was lacking, that was missing. There was no greed in his heart. Otherwise, he wouldn't be love. There was no hatred in his heart. Otherwise, he wouldn't be love. Right? He wouldn't be love. He had a mission here. That mission to show that a person can live a sinless life, right? That people can overcome the temptation with him. Of course, I'm not. So don't get ahead of me. Don't get ahead of me, and don't try not to add to what I'm saying. Just listen briefly. Right? That a person can say no to these temptations, but he was even tempted even more, even bigger, a lot bigger, because when he went out into the forest to meditate or to pray, the devil came and tempted him in a very unique way that only he could have been tempted by. Turn that rock, like you're hungry, turn that rock into bread and eat. If you're the Son of God, do it. Jesus didn't even have to say it. He didn't have to say, turn turned to bread, he just needed to think it, and it would be so. But even his own thinking, he would stop. He would stop his own mind from betraying him. You and I are not tempted by that because you and I can't turn stone into bread. So that's not really a temptation for us, is it? But it's a huge temptation for him. So he was not just tempted as a human being, he was also tempted as a divine being as well. Anyway, I feel like I'm going off a little bit, right? But but the point being is that he lived a perfect life. He died. He lived again, so that we could believe that he is who he says he is, so that the Father says, okay, those that I gave you, those that believe in you, those that have seen you, know me and see me, and we will all be together. Because Jesus says in that prayer, I want them where I am. I want them where I am. Right? So anyway, let's let's get back to it.
So this has nothing to do with Rome. It's all about sin.
God did not send his son into the world to condemn it, Nicodemus. He sent him to save it through him.
Through him.
It's as simple as Moses' serpent on the pole. Whoever believes in him will not be condemned, but whoever does not believe stands condemned already. Have you ever heard anything like this before?
The next time you get into some kind of discussion with someone who questions what the apostles wrote, just have them read the red letters. Just have them read the red letters. There's no way that an uneducated human being, and I'm saying it uneducated because I know that the apostles were not really formally educated. I know that they couldn't have invented what Jesus said. They couldn't have invented and spoken the way that they say he spoke. There's no way. There's no way. You don't hear that or see that in their normal documentation. It's only when they're quoting him that the language takes a little shift. It has a little change there. Right? Just have them read that. Just say, look, read John and read the parts that are in black, and then read the parts that are supposedly Christ. And you tell me if the language is the same. Because if it's not, then that tells you that they're quoting someone else. Let's go. See, and I brought that up. I brought that up because he's saying, have you ever heard anyone speak that way? And he's, shh, be quiet, right? Because he's trying to really document what he's saying, word as close as he can, word for word. For that same reason, because if he waits to write that down, he's not going to quote it the same way. It's going to sound like him. But if he writes it right away, it's going to sound like him, capital H. Anyway, let's go.
I met Lilith, Mary, that day. I told my wife and my students that she was beyond human aid. Only God could have healed her. And then I saw her healed.
Then I saw her face. Now I'm a believer.
The healer. My whole life I have wondered if I would see this day.
Follow me, and you'll see more.
Follow me
Join
and you'll
me, my
see
students.
more.
In 2 days' time, we leave Capernaum. Come see the kingdom I am bringing into this world.
But I can't.
You have a position in the Sanhedrin.
Come and see the kingdom that I am bringing into this world. Come and see the kingdom I am bringing into this world. I'm bringing into this world.
You have family. You are getting advanced in years.
I understand. But the invitation is still open. The invitation to what exactly? To lead a nomadic life, to give up who I am. It's true. There is a lot you would give up. But what you would gain is far greater and more lasting. Is this another one of your born-again mysteries? Maybe. I know mysteries aren't easy for a scholar.
Mysteries aren't easy for a scholar.
Think about it. Take your time. On the morning of the 5th day, we leave, and we'll meet by the well in the southern quarter at dawn. Is this... Is the kingdom of God really coming? What does your heart tell you? My heart is swollen with fear and wonder. It can tell me nothing except that I am standing on holy ground.
It can tell me nothing. See, Jesus didn't answer his question. Not here. He answered it here. He spoke into his heart. He says, "What does your heart tell you?" Right? And he says, "My heart, yeah, it's swollen with fear and wonder, like, right? Because the unknown is really scary. The unknown is incredibly scary. But he's saying all he knows is that he's standing on holy ground." Is he talking about the land? Is he talking about the roof? Not yet. At this point, he's not talking about the roof at all. He's saying that the foundation, the thing that he internally is standing on, is holy. That the place that he's in internally, spiritually speaking, mentally speaking, and perhaps even emotionally speaking, is holy. It's sacred. And what are, Familia, this is where we have our conversations. What are the attributes of a holy space? If you are in a holy space, and a space that is sacred, that is holy, what are the attributes of this space? What do you expect to see? What do you expect to feel? What do you expect there to be present in that space, in that moment, right? And I'm going to wait for you all to answer this question so that we can fully understand the position that Nicodemus is finding himself in, the space that he's in. And I would be so bold as to even say that he answered the question by saying that the kingdom is already there, that he's standing in it in that very moment, right there, right with him. He's standing there. He's already saying. So when he says, oh my goodness, when he says, what does your heart tell you? He's saying, look within, look inside of you. What does your heart tell you? And he's saying, I'm there. I'm already there. Yes, the answer to the question is the kingdom. The question is the kingdom coming? And the answer to the question is, look, I'm here right now. Look at what that holy ground is. Love, unexplainable peace. Any place where the Holy Spirit is a holy place. Where God is, that is a holy place. The closeness of the Lord. See that here? See that here? The kingdom is already there with him. But he didn't say that out loud. But he felt it. And please don't go misquoting me by saying that the kingdom is a thing that you feel. It's not a feeling. It's a oh, I gotta be careful. For me, it's a space. It's a place. That's a space where he resides. And unless you're born of the Spirit, you can't enter into this kingdom. You can't enter into this space unless you are born again. You can't understand that. Okay. Gotta refresh. Okay, now we're gonna continue. Okay, uninterrupted. I apologize. I thank you for following me along, with me.
Is the kingdom of God really coming?
What does your heart tell you?
My heart is swollen with fear and wonder. You can tell me nothing except that I am standing on holy ground.
That's the appropriate, I think, reaction to recognizing that you're standing in it.
Holy roof and
that you're standing in it. And then, of course, he makes a joke here. Holy roof, anyway.
I do hope you come with us, Nicodemus.
You don't have to do that. What are you doing?
Why does he say you don't have to do that? Why does Jesus say you don't have to do that?
Is the Son, lest he be angry and you perish in the way.
The music.
Blessed are all who take refuge in him.
Blessed are those who take refuge in him. Oh, goodness.
You see the Parthian foot races last night? Darius ran like a gazelle.
Jews don't go to foot races.
Your old friend Simon himself used to run the wagering tables.
We're not friends. Next.
Okay, fine. So you did not go to the races? You stay home?
I went to see my mother.
Ugh, that would put me out, too. She asked when you're going to give her grandchildren?
She didn't ask.
I thought your parents don't speak to you.
I had questions I couldn't ask anyone else.
See, there it is.
The mother of a son with talent like yours should be proud.
She's ashamed that I could use the talent that God gave me against God. Next.
You're good at something. You found a way to make a living doing it. It's that simple.
Yeah.
Must be nice to live in a world so simply ordered.
We live in the same world, Matthew.
No.
Besides, what else are you going to do with a mind like yours?
Reminds me of what my grandfather used to tell me. Every mind is its own world. Every head is its own world. Every head is we all live in the same world, but everyone in here lives in a different world with your ideas, with your beliefs, with your concepts. But imagine, familia, if we all are born again, right? If we're born in the Spirit again, and we all live in the same space inside, we all have that Jesus inside of us. If we all have that love of God inside of us, then we're all of the same world, but just not this one. Does that make sense?
Matthew.
Oh, you saw his reaction. Sorry, I'm gonna go back. Sorry, 350. Yeah, right there. When he says Matthew, he went back like he was like he threw something at him. Look at Matthew's reaction.
Matthew. Matthew, son of Alphaeus.
Yes.
Follow me.
Me?
Yes, you.
Whoa. What are you doing?
Hey, what are you doing? Are you crazy or something?
Me to join you.
Keep moving, street preacher.
Do you have any idea what this guy's done?
Yeah.
Do you even know him?
Yes.
Because he knows that he's going to have to give up his old self.
Listen, I said to...
And when he follows him, he's going to be something new, something else.
What are you doing? Where do you think you're going?
Guys, let me go.
Whoa.
Have you lost your mind? You have money. Quintus protects you. No Jew lives as good as you. You're going to throw it all away.
Yes.
You just gave him the key to his house?
I don't get it.
You didn't get it when I chose you either.
This is different. I'm not a tax collector.
Get used to different.
Boom. This is different.
I'm glad we passed by your booth today, Matthew.
Yes.
Shall we?
We
have
shall.
a celebration to prepare for.
You will regret this, Matthew.
What's the tablet for? I grabbed it without thinking. You can put it back.
No, keep it. You may yet find use for it.
Where are we going?
A dinner party.
I'm not welcome at dinner parties.
Well, that's not going to be a problem tonight.
I have a question really quickly because when you're writing something, a script, and you're shooting something, everything that is on the screen has a purpose. It should serve a purpose. And up until this point, Dallas and his team have never put something on there that just doesn't make sense. But I have a feeling that this is somehow symbolic somehow. You have an arc in the tree here with a rope attached to it. You have an arc, and they're about to walk right through it. Is there a story in the Bible or something related to walking through an arc, or can this just be something like he's taking them to a new location, somewhere new? They're going from one place to another, spiritually speaking.
Dinner party.
I'm not welcome at dinner parties.
Well, that's not going to be a problem tonight. You're the host.
What? He made them the host. Awesome. What a great episode. Love this. All right.
You know, I've seen the last 10 minutes of episode 7 dozens of times, and the Nicodemus and Matthew scenes get me every time. I especially love the music from our incredible composers, Dan and Matt. In just a moment, I hope you'll check out episode 8 and see the
my
aftermath
yoke is
of
easy.
what
I like
just
that.
happened.
Maybe.
I've got something important to share with you at the end of episode 8, so please check that out. But I first wanted to briefly explain this hoodie I'm wearing and the line that it's based on from the end of episode 7. See, we believe that like the opening credits, where we show you 13 teal fish going against the current, Get Used to Different is not only something that illustrated Jesus' entire ministry, it's our model for this whole show. The way it was financed is different, with season 1 being the highest crowdfunded media project of all time. The content itself is different. We're the first ever multi-season show about Jesus.
Could be.
The way it's distributed is different, as we're the first show with our own app that allows you to watch the show completely free with no subscription. And of course, how we're able to produce future episodes and seasons is different, where we rely on our partnership with you. Now, you're under no obligation to do anything more than watch the show. If you don't feel led to partner with us, or if you can't afford to pay it forward, please don't. The reason people pay it forward is so you can enjoy the show free. But if you do feel led, not only does a large chunk of it go directly to financing future episodes and seasons, but you'll also receive thank you notes from all over the world right here in the app.
That's great.
I know when I paid it forward, it was so cool to hear from people whose lives were directly impacted from being able to watch this show free. We also use income from Pay It Forwards to translate the show into multiple languages. So click on the audio and subtitles to see how many languages we're already translated in. And our goal is for The Chosen to be viewed in over 100 languages.
These are great answers, by the way.
It's pretty epic. So please check it out now, and I'll see you right afterward. Thank you for partnering with us.
Excellent. Okay, so I'm going to pause it real quickly just to talk to you all for just one quick second, and then we'll get right into it. Okay, but these are great. One thing that I just the rope around the tree reminds me. Okay, so like hanging, right? This could be like, it could be sort of symbolic of death, right? That him leaving, he just practically committed social suicide, right? He just completely just himself, right? That's the end of that. Like there's no going back. So yeah, this tree could be symbolic of that. That like this is the end of something, and something new is taking place. There's going to be a new beginning, right? It's interesting. I love having these conversations with you because I get to learn more, and I get to get the answers to my silly little questions that I have sometimes, or sometimes silly questions. Okay, gotta go. Have a blessed evening, everyone. Thank you, Becky, for joining us. Appreciate you so much. We're gonna finish watching this one episode. We hope you come back tomorrow and watch this episode here on with us, and then catch up with us because tomorrow we're continuing with season 3. All right, here we go. Let's go, familia. Like Mario says, let's go.
This is the spot, my sons.
All these close-ups, beautiful. Oh, look at that.
Shalom, my friend.
Beautiful wide shot.
I don't know that word. It's something my family says. It's a greeting of peace.
You won't find much of that here, I'm afraid.
Oh.
I'm Jacob.
I'm Yassib.
Yassib, I would offer you something to drink, but as you can see, we have just begun work on our well.
We bought this land from the sons of him.
For only 100 quesida, can you believe it?
I believe it every time the princes of this land cheat another foreigner. You will cost the day you pay that 100 quesita.
And what do you think would have been a fair price?
0 quesita, 0 goats, 0...
I have 12 sons to work the land, and once we strike water...
You will never strike water. Yes, the recent rain makes the land look lush, but the underground river runs around the mountain, not up it.
Our God takes care of us.
This is Canaan. The gods are not nice here.
We won't be here that long. We are sojourners.
And what are you looking for?
A land our God promised my grandfather, Abraham.
Your grandfather? You ever notice how the gods are always promising us things, but we never really see them happen?
Sometimes it takes generations.
Suit yourself. So, what is this god of yours called anyway?
El Shaddai.
I've never heard of him.
Not many people have, but I think someday they will.
Do you have no home? Where's your temple for this god?
He has no temple.
So where do you worship him?
Build altars wherever we go.
And you do not carry him with you?
No. There are no carved idols of him.
So he's invisible?
Yes. Well, usually. There was one time he broke my hip.
Oh, no, I've heard enough. Of all the gods you could possibly choose from, you pick an invisible god whose promises take generations to come true, who makes you sojourn in strange places, and he broke your hip. That is a strange choice. Immigrants.
We didn't choose him.
Father!
Perfect timing.
He chose us.
You already know what's coming, familia. Oh, goodness. Oh, goodness. I forgot about this. Oh, boy. Anybody else was chosen by him? This is great storytelling. This is great storytelling. Come on, familia, you don't know what to do. Erica, you dancing over there? She says yes. Is the baby dancing too? Excellent. Let's switch back. Oh boy.
You know, when the door opened, I honestly hoped it was a thief or a murderer come to put me out of my misery.
Sorry to disappoint you,
That's
but
kind of dark.
there's something I need from you first.
Come closer, I can't see you. Your hair is matted and your face is red. Why?
You know why.
If you came back to live with me, you could go to the well with the other women in the cool of the morning.
You're wrong about that. I could go with him if I had stayed with Ramin.
Out with it. How much do you need?
I'm not here for money. I've brought a bill of divorce. All you need to do is sign it.
Only a man can divorce his wife, not the other way around, Fatina.
Which is why the certificate is in your name, Naraya.
On what grounds am I to divorce you?
I'm living with another man.
So what? That's all you did with me. Live
You
here.
knew why I married you.
Stability. The shine wore off quick, didn't
The
it?
Pentateuch makes provision for a husband to divorce his wife if she lies with another man.
Listen to you talking about Pentateuch.
What do I have to do? Bring him here?
Yes. I want to see the latest shade of drooling tomcat you put your spell on. Harry. Or he gets bored, like the others.
Will you sign it or not?
It's harsh.
Give it here. No.
Please.
Please?
Ah, man.
My property, Fatina. I don't part lightly with my possessions.
She just watches it burn.
The way he ran from the Red Quarter, nearly tripping on his robes.
A Pharisee running? Somehow I can't see that.
I thought for certain he would trip and fall and I would be arrested.
Knowing your luck, Rivka, probably would happen, huh?
I thought for certain Lil was gone forever that day.
It's Mary now.
Always was.
Does anyone want any grapes? Barnaby, you eat a lot.
Very observant.
Very observant.
Simon?
You know, Matthew, when you're not behind iron bars, you're quite handsome.
I agree.
What is going on?
May I help you?
We were just on a walk and we heard voices, and I thought it sounded like. But surely not.
And yet it is you.
Would you like to come in?
We would never be caught dead in a.
In a what? In a tax collector's house?
Not only that, but with a. Do you know what she and he? They are.
You seem to be having troubles finding your words, man.
Why does your master eat with tax collectors and sinners?
There's not the healthy who need a doctor.
Ah.
Sick.
I must say, I am shocked. She is from the Red Quarter. Much of what is done there cannot even be spoken by my tongue or cross my lips. It is so unholy. The mere mention of it would defile me.
Sounds like a personal problem.
But him and the others he works with, they betray our people for money, and they're not even sorry.
If you're so offended, then leave.
Speak, Anne. They've never offered guilt sacrifices in the temple.
What? The priest keeps records. We check them. Tax collectors are not welcome at the temple.
Would like them better if they made the proper sacrifices.
This is not about me. This is about what God wants.
You're forgetting the scroll of Hosea. Go and learn what this means. I desire mercy more than sacrifice.
There are righteous men on the lookout for you, and they are weighing every word you say.
Is that a threat?
Please let them know this, Yusuf. I have not come to call the righteous, but sinners.
Is everything under control here?
Yes. We were just going on our way, Centurion.
Wait. The Messiah is not here to call the righteous, but to call the sinners. And then the Pharisee was talking about the sacrifices that needed to be made. And he's saying he's just enforcing what God wants. But Jesus quoted something else, another book, another scroll, that kind of did it override the other commandment? You think, because one is saying, yes, bring the proper sacrifices, so people follow that. But then there's another phrase or another scroll that says, he wants, I forgot what the other word was, but he wanted this versus sacrifice. Mercy, right? Mercy over sacrifice. So that's interesting. Very interesting. Let's rock and roll.
Primi ordine to you.
Primi ordine.
You all keep eating. I will talk to this man. Guys?
You're making a mistake. You can walk away from this.
I made my choice.
Look at that room. Other than Rom and Jahaz, whom I know to be law-abiding tax collectors, everyone else in there, the dregs of Capernaum.
Gaius, lower your voice.
The bottom of the barrel.
Germanic, correct? Isn't that what you told Quintus?
Do not change the subject.
Your people surrendered. I'm surrendering too. Your promotion was well earned. You will do well without me. Better, even.
How? You're the one who got me promoted.
That is untrue.
Do not play dumb. You know how this all happened.
You could say thank you.
I'm not going to do that.
Well, if you can't say it, then there's something you could do to show it. I'll pay you if necessary.
I do not want your money. What is the favor?
You have not rehearsed your speech for me.
It's nothing.
I want to honor you for the great things you have done here. Give them a thrill.
My remarks will be extemporaneous.
You are one of those rare men who excels in both rehearsed and unrehearsed speech.
And you are not guilty of bias, are you?
But those are not my words. I just said that about you at our last Shabbat dinner.
He was just flattering.
There is no one above the high priest but God. What is he to gain from you by flattery? Well, he has never complimented my cooking. Do you remember at that final dinner?
Maybe there's a reason for
Eliel
that.
saying to Havilah, she was glowing. His voice the sweeter for the child in her womb.
Brought tears to my eyes.
Can you picture Moshe and Gideon? Their little chins resting on the table. When you say the Yesheh Chayil, that's the way Shabbat was meant to be. Family, knit together around the table. My mother's gilded plates, your grandmother's candlesticks. May she rest in peace.
I do miss her.
And if she could see you now, receiving the highest honor ever bestowed by our order, she would burst with pride.
I remember the inscription she had over the doorway of her room. Adonai El Roy. The Lord,
The God who sees me. The words of Hagar.
She always loved that Hagar was caught up in something complicated and fraught, but not of her choice. And yet, God saw her. And he knew that the path she was forced to take would not be an easy one.
When we stumble onto hard roads, he finds us and comforts us.
Or does he call us to them?
Persian myrrh and camphor to commemorate our last day in Capernaum.
One last day.
Nicodemus, I love our life.
As do I.
Take me back to it.
I changed my mind. I will prepare my remarks. I will need a moment.
Gaius. Peter, just the man I've been waiting to see. Get in here.
Uh-oh.
What methods are we using to quell and disperse mobs that obstruct traffic?
Regular patrols, mounted officers, when necessary force.
Not enough force. And what use are mounted officers if the people have never seen anyone trampled?
Peter?
Herod's envoy was delayed. He was a childhood rival. You were there. I asked Matthew. He said show him some infrastructure plans.
I hope it was effective, Dominus.
Very. Until Silvius was delayed by a stampede on his way out. I had to endure a very smug lecture. Don't let that happen again.
Yes, Praetor.
I see you're alone. I assume that means you've found a replacement to watch our little friend?
A new soldier has been trained and installed.
Good.
And I am reviewing applications for a new publicanist for that district.
What district?
The collection district previously assessed by Matthew.
Why are you doing that?
Matthew left. He quit, Dominus.
What do you mean, he quit? Why would you let him quit?
He is a contractor. I had no recourse.
Quit to do what?
He is to become a student.
Of what? Don't make me keep asking questions,
He
Prince.
is to study the Jewish God. He left to follow a holy man, the man from the Eastern Ghetto. That is all I know.
Oh, I really don't like that man.
Brothers, extra food for my Ima. And she made more. She's convinced we will starve along the way with 6 days of walking, huh?
3. 3? Are we going to run all the way to Jerusalem? That won't work for Simon. He's a terrible runner.
I have bad chins. Or maybe if you didn't get in a fight with Ave and Josephat every week.
Easy, boys. My fighting days are over.
Simon, you seem quiet this morning.
We have a long journey ahead.
Apparently only half as long as we thought. I'll explain later. Simon, what troubles you?
Yes, this.
Nothing, just excited for the trip, you know.
I like this.
You can tell me the truth.
You're telling me you don't already know what's in my head?
That's a conversation for another time.
I'm the only one among us who is married.
So you think I should have only called single people?
And I'm glad you didn't, but Eden will be alone with her Ima.
You're scared that things could get worse and you wouldn't be there.
See? That's what I mean. You already know anyway.
Simon, everyone here knows what you're thinking most of the time. It does not take God's wisdom.
Congratulations on your profound contribution, Rabbi. We are forever in your debt.
Praise Adonai.
Praise Adonai.
The ceremony was glorious, teacher. Your acts of faithfulness and discernment have been duly recorded for all history.
Thank you, Shmuel. I'm grateful for your service as well.
Thank you.
I foresee you will be an important leader in our order for many years to come.
Maybe not just here in Capernaum, Rabbi. Perhaps I will one day teach across Judea, maybe even in Jerusalem.
Perhaps you will, Shmuel.
It's not such a ridiculous notion, is it, Rabbi? I have studied under your venerated tutelage after all. As your reputation grows, so too do my own prospects.
I think it is perhaps bold to assume outcomes. Our work is for God. He chooses where it takes us.
You're right as always, Rabbi. But under your guidance, I've found a matter of law I'm deeply passionate about. One that resonates with many others, even as far away as Jerusalem.
I'm delighted to hear your fervor, Shmuel. Tell me, what is it you've become so passionate about?
False prophecy. When I heard the man from Nazareth tell the paralytic his sins were forgiven, I thought only God can forgive sins. At that very moment, he turned to me and recited my thoughts as if reading them from a scroll. I felt the same. Did he use divination, I wonder? But it's obvious. Of course I would think this thought. He called himself the Son of Man, as if from the prophet Daniel, here, in the town of my order.
It came from Nazareth, not heaven.
To him was given dominion and glory and a kingdom, that all peoples, nations, and languages should serve him.
He's simply a man. I don't understand it anymore.
His dominion is an everlasting dominion which shall not pass away, and his kingdom that which shall not be destroyed. The man claimed to be God, and you said nothing. I will petition Jerusalem, requesting permission to search the archives for all matters pertaining to such false claims. Will you oppose my petition, Rabbi? The question on the mind of every man who reads my account will have to be, what did Nicodemus do?
So, it's all about politics and promotion for you, isn't it? It's not to serve God.
On the contrary, teacher, it's about the law. And the law is God. If I'm rewarded for that, it's because I learned from the very wisest.
I will not oppose your petition.
Should I turn my mic down? I don't understand.
You have learned nothing.
I'll set it farther away.
Can't he build us a fire? He's away, Ima. Fishing? No, something else. Lie still.
Eden.
Jesus. I wasn't expecting you here.
People usually aren't.
Can I get you something warm to drink? I was just stoking the fire.
You saw it first, you know.
What do you mean?
What I see in Simon. You were the first person to notice when no one else did. That connects us.
My mother said I was drawn to his wildness and that I would regret it. I wonder what she will say now.
We're going into town to sell these nets. We'll be right back.
Stay here a moment, Simon.
I just want to leave some extra money behind for Eden and Ima while I'm away.
Put your nets down and go sit with your mother-in-law. It's all right. I told Simon to make sacrifices and leave things behind in order to follow me. You are one flesh with Simon. He cannot make sacrifices that are not also yours. You have a role to play in all of this.
Do I?
You will know in time. I can't make everything about this easier for you.
That wouldn't be our people's way.
No, it has not been. Nor will it continue to be. But I see you. You understand? I know it is not easy to be at home when your husband is out doing all of this, even when you are excited about it and proud of him. So, I wouldn't ask you to do this without taking care of a few things.
You mean?
Plus, normal Simon is difficult enough. You think I want to travel with a worried Simon? No, I do not.
I'm gonna take a short pause here, just to adjust my volume here on something. Currently, I have it to automatically adjust mic volume. I'm gonna take that off, and you tell me, Is this okay? Can you hear me okay here? Is it too loud, or does the volume need to come up on my mic? I appreciate you telling me, by the way. It's fine here. It's not too loud. I'm going to go back on this and I'm going to play the sound, and I'll talk over it so you can tell me if it's I do think your mic is too loud. We hear you clear. Okay.
A few things.
Is my voice louder than the audio here?
You mean
gain is good?
Plus, normal Simon is difficult enough. If
Perfect,
I want to
okay.
travel with a worried Simon.
Better. Okay, perfect. Okay.
No.
I'll just leave it there then.
I feel respect. Her forehead burns my hand to the touch.
We should get a doctor. There is no need. Leave her.
Who are you?
This is Jesus of Nazareth.
You've never met him before.
Welcome to my son-in-law's home.
Thank you.
What am I doing lying here?
You had a terrible fever.
And all of you staring down.
Dasha, don't.
No one move. I'll be right back with some drinks. And
She's gonna start cleaning.
put this fire.
Coming.
Simon's like, when we get back, do you mind putting her back in the state she was? I kid.
Does your friend like goat cheese?
Yes, I love goat cheese. I should, see about the goat cheese.
Goat cheese.
Thank you.
Me? For what?
For obeying and following him.
Mm. I love that they didn't ask him.
Simon, nectarines or blanc?
You're alive. I know you are. I know that. I know that.
Certainly right. Huh? Feel. You? Of course. Yes.
Oranges.
2 shekels. Thank you. Plums.
Beautiful silks from
like?
Phoenicia. Do you want some?
Yeah.
We don't serve your kind here.
And what kind is that?
You know what you are.
Well, lucky for you, I can serve myself. You know, to stop me, you'd have to look at me.
Take down this decree in Aramaic, Latin, and Greek, so no one can plead ignorance. By order of Rome and punishable by detention and imprisonment, religious gatherings outside the synagogue and Hebrew school are strictly prohibited. The teacher known as Jesus of Nazareth is sought for questioning.
I love the music. Love it. Mm. Could it be that Nico stays to sort of keep the
be everyone.
Pharisees at bay, you know?
Everyone's here?
Yes, this is all of us.
Is there anyone else?
Anyone hiding behind that wall over there?
Look at this.
Is there a Pharisee that wants to come with us?
What is that? I don't know. Let's find out.
Gold. A friend of mine left that for us.
It's enough for 2 weeks of food and lodging.
Oh, Nico.
So close.
What do you mean?
We need to go for it to make it to a camp in Tiberias by nightfall.
Simon is correct. Let's go.
You're gonna wear that? On a trip.
These are my clothes. Should I have others?
Oh, goodness, man.
Hello?
Elisheva, who is it?
Roman.
What's wrong? What happened? What did it mean? Follow me.
That is all he said. Matthew did not hesitate.
Follow him where?
Look, I'm sure he will come to his senses.
His senses. Do you know my son?
Do you? At the moment, he believes this man to be a prophet.
The man that healed the paralytic at Zebedee's house.
I would be careful with that word, healed. We do not know what sort of trickery or illusion may have been involved.
Matthew has no interest in illusion.
Nor in your God. Or so I thought.
Matthew upended his life to be with him. His wicked life.
He does not make decisions lightly.
That is true.
When I saw him 2 days ago, he did not seem himself. But I never would have guessed that he was preparing for this.
He asked me to deliver to you some of his personal effects.
With an eye in heaven.
The key to his house.
Luxury bought off the backs of our people. I will not accept.
He suspected as much. Sell it. Give it away. Burn it down. I do not care.
Sell it, give it away, or burn it down.
Don't burn it down. The other is just outside.
I forgot. I forgot about the dog. What? Oh, sorry. I just ruined it.
Matthew said thieves forced you to close your business.
Yes, but...
And you've been taking long journeys for your business.
Yes. I have all my permits.
Don't you get it? The roads are dangerous. Your wife is left for long periods of time alone.
Yeah.
People with bad intentions hate him.
How does it work?
One last thing. If you hear from him or receive any word of his whereabouts, contact me immediately.
Is he wanted?
Not officially. But if Jesus of Nazareth returns to Capernaum, the Praetor would like to question him, and it would be in everyone's best interest if you contact me.
We understand.
And I just want you to, well,
He took a liking to him.
I know some people that were mildly fond of your son.
He knows some people. Mildly fond. He said, I know some people that were mildly fond of your son.
Hungry? Almost there.
What city is that? Jezreel, the southernmost town in Galilee. From there we veer east to the Jordan River. Rabbi, where are you going? Do you need something?
This way, friends.
I'm sorry, but the map shows that Jezreel is 2 miles southeast of here and is met by a road east of the Jordan. We need to adjust our course 30 degrees.
We're not going to the Jordan. We're going through Samaria.
Are you telling a joke?
There's a place that I want to stop. Plus, it makes our journey shorter by almost half.
And our odds of violent attack more likely by double.
Got an exact figure?
Forgive me, teacher, but it's safer to go around Samaria by way of the Jordan and at the Decapolis.
Would you join me for safety reasons?
But Rabbi.
Good observation, Big James.
Rabbi, these were the people that profaned our temple with the dead bones. They hated
They
us.
fought
didn't
against us with the Seleucids in the Maccabean Wars. I've never even spoken to a Samaritan.
And we destroyed their temple 100 years ago. And none of you here were present for any of these things. Listen, if we're going to have a question and answer session every time we do something you're not used to, it's going to be a very annoying time together for all of us. We'll be fine. And if we get attacked, Simon will be happy to show us what to do.
Absolutely.
That was something else, right? Look, they're saying, look, don't forget what they did to us. And he says, yeah, well, let's not forget what we did to them, right? And none of you were alive at the time that happened. What a beautiful little message, hidden message, hidden crouching tiger, hidden dragon little message, right? That is like, look, don't worry about that. It's not you, right? You're not guilty of these things, and neither are they. They're not guilty of those things either. That's old stuff, or people that are long dead, right? Don't let that be a concern now. Just trust me and come with me. Let's go. Love that.
You ate the last of Salome's bread last night.
Master, we need to go into town for food.
We can use the gold left for us at the fountain.
Very well.
There's a town about a mile west. Sikar.
You all go. I'll wait here.
Someone should stay with you. In case.
I'm all right. Meet me at that well when you come back.
He's not going to eat. Oh, goodness. Yeah. Here we go.
Would you give me a drink?
I don't know you.
Did you hear me?
That bad, huh?
What?
You, a Jew, ask for a drink from me, a Samaritan, and a woman.
I'm sorry. I should have said please.
Oh.
You know, it's not safe for you to be alone out here.
Nor you. Why haven't you come with others? Why so late in the day? Don't women come to the wells in the cool of the morning?
Yeah, well, none of them will be seen with me, so I have to come out now in the heat, as you have so kindly reminded me.
Why won't they be seen with you?
Long story.
I'd still like a drink of water if you can spare it.
Amazing what a parched throat will do. Aren't I unclean to you? Won't you be defiled by this vessel?
Maybe some of my people say that about your women, but I don't.
Yeah? And what do you say?
I say if you knew who I am, you'd be asking me for a drink.
Really?
And I would give you living water.
Would. Except that you have nothing to draw water with, and this is a deep well. Besides, what do you need from me if you have your own supply of living water?
Long story.
But Jewish water is better than Samaritan water.
That's not what I
Are
said.
you a better man than our ancestor Jacob, who dug this well? Your water is better than his?
I know Jacob. And everyone who drinks this water will thirst again. But whoever drinks the water that I give him will never be thirsty again.
Wouldn't that be nice?
The water I give will become in a person a spring of water, welling up to eternal life.
Really?
Yes, really.
Prove it.
First, go and call your husband and come back. I will show you both.
I don't have a husband.
You are right. You've had 5 husbands.
Ooh.
And the man you're living with now is not your husband.
Oh, I see. You're a prophet. You're here to preach at me.
No.
Usually the one good thing about coming here alone is I can escape being condemned.
I'm not here to condemn you.
I've made mistakes. Too many. But it's men like you who have made it impossible for me to do anything about it.
How?
Our ancestors worshipped on this mountain. But you Jews insist Jerusalem is the only place for true worship.
They say that because the temple is there.
Exactly where we're not allowed.
I'm here to break those barriers. And the time is coming when neither on this mountain nor in Jerusalem will you worship the Father.
So, where am I supposed to go when I need God? I've never received anything from God, but I couldn't thank him even if I did.
What a great question.
God is spirit. And the time is coming and is now here that it won't matter where you worship, but only that you do it in spirit and truth. Heart and mind. That is the kind of worshiper he's looking for. It won't matter where you're from or what you've done.
What color your skin is, or your eyes, or your hair, or what clothes you wear, your culture, your traditions.
Do you believe what I'm telling you?
Until the Messiah comes and explains everything and sorts this mess out, including me. I don't trust in anyone.
You're wrong when you say that you've never received anything from God. This Messiah you speak of, I am he. The first one was named Ramin. You were a woman of purity who was excited to be married. But he wasn't a good man. He hurt you. And it made you question marriage and even the practice of your faith.
Ah.
The second was Farzad. On your wedding night, his skin smelled like oranges. And to this day, every time you pass by the oranges in the market, you feel guilty for leaving him. Because he was the only truly godly man you've been with. But you felt unworthy.
Why are you doing this?
Oh my goodness.
I have not revealed myself to the public as the Messiah. You are the first.
Wow.
It would be good if you believed me.
Yeah, it would be good for her.
You picked the wrong person.
I came to Samaria just to meet you. Do you think it's an accident that I'm here in the middle of the day?
I am rejected by others.
I know. But not by the Messiah.
And you know these things because you are the Christ. I'm going to tell everyone.
I was counting on it.
Spirit and truth.
Spirit and truth.
It won't be all about mountains or temples.
Soon, just the heart.
Wow.
You promise.
I promise.
This man told me everything I've done. Oh, he must be the Christ.
She doesn't need that water anymore.
Fancy a man who told me everything I ever did.
Rabbi, we got food. What would you like?
Ah. I have food to eat that you do not know about.
Ah.
Who got you food?
Wait a minute.
Wait, I gotta go back. Who got your food? Like, he's so innocent in his question. Who got him food? Oh goodness! Look at it's just the innocence in his voice is beautiful.
Told me everything I ever did.
Rabbi, we got food. What would you like?
Ah. I have food to eat that you do not know about. Who got you food?
Wait a minute. You told her? And she can tell others? What food?
My food is to do the will of him who sent me and to accomplish his work.
You told her who you are?
Mm-hmm.
So does that mean...
It means we're going to stay here a couple of days. It's been a long time of sowing, but the fields are ripe for harvest.
Ooh.
And so it's time.
Let's go.
Yes!
Epic walk. Here we go. Slow-mo. Upbeat music.
Throw me like a stone in the water. Watch the mud rise up.
A family of people you would not expect to be together.
Pour me in your cup. Should've known we'd bring trouble. Trouble gonna find you here. Trouble. Trouble. Trouble.
Beautiful. There's so many things in that little interaction that just happened with the woman in the well. Of course, she knew who he was. She knew that he was Jewish. She knew that, you know, that there's tension there. He didn't care about that. He said, look, I'm not here for that, right? He pointed out, as you all pointed out, that, like, he broke down so many barriers. He wasn't about that, right? And what's beautiful about this interaction is that he started telling her things that only she knew to sort of prove, right? And he said, look, I haven't told anyone that I am the Messiah. You're the first, right? To this point, he hasn't told anybody really, like, hey, I'm the Messiah. But he picked her. He chose her, not a priest, not a Pharisee, not someone up and up in the church so that it can start trickling down. He started at the bottom. He started at the bottom and started so that it could feed upward. It could feed upward. He knew what was in her heart. He knew the mistakes that she made, right? He knew that she was a victim of this, of her first husband, right? That she wasn't treated like she deserved. And so she separated from him, didn't trust anyone, didn't trust her own faith even, and then she found someone who's very faithful to God, and she felt undeserving of that. Why? Because the previous person made her feel undeserving of that love and of that goodness that her second husband did. So she left him too. And then the pattern continues until she's here where she doesn't know that she even deserves anything. So she felt undeserving, and yet she was the one that they got to know that he was the Messiah before anybody else in the world, right? It's such a beautiful thing. But anyway, Familia, are we going to watch the outtakes? Oh, yeah. Yes, we are. We're going to watch the outtakes.
And it made you question marriage.
Let me go forward. All these beautiful people who helped make this possible. Oh, it keeps going there. Sorry, it keeps going back. I'll just let it. He knew she was the gossip lady. Yeah. She's like, look, I'm going to go tell everybody. You messed up. You told me. Now I'm going to go tell everybody. And he's like, yeah, I was kind of counting on that. Good. Thank you. Right. He picked a Samaritan, non-Jewish woman, not a man. That's right. This was incredibly significant at the time. That's right. My name is in there somewhere. Oh, good. Beautiful. Thank you, Lynn, for supporting that. Jesus showed women that they mattered just as much as men did. And if we notice here in this season, in this first season, we have the men who are doubting and the women who are actually very supportive and saying, hey, snap out of it. You need to go do this and you need to trust. They're showing the women as the faithful ones, as the ones with strong faith, right? I love that. It's beautiful. Lots of pay it forward people. Yes. Thank you all to all of these beautiful people who paying it forward. Ernestine, you don't just have to help that way. You can help by just sending sending a link to the app, to the Angel Studios app for people to watch it for free. So just sharing a video, sharing it is another way of paying it forward, because it's already been paid for people to watch it for free. You can pay it forward by just simply sending the link to someone who hasn't watched it. John and Bing James' mother. He's even traveling with women. That's right. I buy merch to help. Yes, that's another way of helping, is by buying the merch. Even there you go. See, so you've paid it forward plenty. That's a way of helping. Right. So I'm gonna let these credits, they're almost done, I think. Yeah, even his mom was like, listen to them, right? Okay, here we go. I think. Oh, never mind. Starting all over. Lots of people, and I can't forward that. Sorry, it's not letting me. Oh, there you go. See, that's another way of helping. You purchase a ticket to go watch it. Whatever they make out of that ticket is going to help fund future videos. So you are helping, right? If you haven't purchased your tickets yet, there's a link in the description down below that where you can click on and purchase tickets. It also, through that website, you can see if there are any showings in your area. Erica and I will be seeing it on Friday as well, to help support as well. Chosen to stay anonymous, and many more who've chosen to stay anonymous. Wow. I saw someone who posted that they lost their mother and their brother, I believe. I'm so sorry for your loss. Here we go. Oh, he's looking at the camera. Don't forget the money, the bag with all the coins. That's beautiful. Okay, so we will not continue this today. I am pretty... Oh, there was no volume. Sorry. Can't hear? Okay, let's... I'm so sorry. I failed yet again. I forgot I turned it down. Oh, no. Oh, well, sorry. We can't watch it. I apologize. See, that just means I cannot continue. I'm a little bit tired from the day today. So we will continue this tomorrow. I will post a notification for you all to join me tomorrow. So if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button and hit the bell notification so you can be notified when I post something. But we will continue this journey, this adventure tomorrow, so that we can be done as soon as possible, before Friday at least, so that we can be all caught up for Friday. How exciting. It's important that we see this weekend. Opening weekend is really, really important for any film, but we want this to do well in the box office, because then you want them to be invited again to do more things. And who knows, maybe in the future Dallas wants to create a feature film of something, and we want it to be in theaters everywhere, right? So all right, everyone. So I know you all are tired. Thank you all so much for staying up past your bedtimes. I appreciate you all so much. I love you all so much. Father, thank you so much for allowing us to get together once again, for allowing us to learn more about you, to learn more about your son, and to see the light that you shine in your son, and how he shined that light into the people's darkest moments, how he shined the light into the woman in the well's darkest moments, to show her that he was who he said he was. Thank you for bringing us home. Thank you for allowing us to believe again, to be in your presence once again, and to be in your light once again. Father, thank you so much for spreading your love to this familia. And I pray that your light and your love stays in the hearts of everyone who joined us here tonight, and that they spread your love tomorrow at work, tomorrow in traffic, that you shower them with your patience, that you bring the spirit of your love, the spirit of your kindness, the spirit of giving, and that they pass it forward, that they help someone, that they love their neighbors just as you have instructed us to do. Father, thank you so much for giving us this moment. In your precious son's name we pray. Amen. And please, also, I forgot to mention, please keep these comments away from from our live chat. And I appreciate that there was a lot of peace in the live chat today. Appreciate you all so much. Love you all. We love you. Blessings and peace. We pray for you. Erika and I pray for you. And baby Ezekiel sends his love as well. And little Luna and Liana from our family. Thank you all so much for joining. I'll see you all mañana.